Another Easter. And Widnes trailing at half-time, get the second half underway. If they can start the second half as they began the match, well, we're in for a treat.
You're right, Teddy. Obviously, Dennis Betts, the Widnes coach, would have asked for that same enthusiasm that they displayed in the opening 15 minutes. The biggest problem is that they got to keep this Warrington side away from exposing them when they get into over the halfway line into the danger zone. And what a game this guy's having.
I just wonder whether Tony Smith has asked his players to try and blow them away at the start of the second half. Start the second half vigorously. It looks like it. Last tackle here though for them, and via the boot of O'Brien it goes high into the air. Phelps underneath it. Oh, what a hit by Myler. Somehow he stayed the right side of the whitewash. Just look where Widnes have to respond from.
What a perfect high kick. Great confidence there.
And bravery on show from Cameron Phelps.
Was it ever?
Former Wigan and Hull fullback, of course. He's no stranger to that particular job, and here's a possibly crucial error.
Well, Lloyd White will not get a tap on the back from his coach, Dennis Betts.
Well, they've been as bad at the start of this second half as they were good at the start of the first half. Warrington going right through the tackles. Dennis Betts will be absolutely furious. Warrington busting through tackles, playing the ball quickly, Widnes on the back foot, and then making a mistake underneath their post. This is a good start for Warrington fans, a very, very bad start for Widnes.
And Hyam from the base of the scrum, Dave Allen gets to him. Well, this could be the game here. This could be the game. Wood will drive it forward. Widnes muscle up in numbers. That's only the second tackle though. Hyam is there. Back it comes to O'Brien. Now it's with Hodgson. They've loaded this right-hand side. Hodgson trying to jink his way through. Dragons ahead, 20 points to 6. 8 minutes second half. We've just started second half here. It's with Cooper. Big test of this Widnes defence here. Cooper grounded on tackle number 4 underneath the sticks. Hyam waits. Will go left. And he'll find Bridge. And the pass from Bridge is a bit slack. They've lost a touch of momentum here. Riley has it. Riley running laterally, and he is brought to ground eventually by Kurt Haggerty and company. Interesting. Gerrard there as well. Last one. A little dink over the top from O'Brien, and it's easy for Patrick Arvan.
Yeah, good position there by Arvan. Had to be as well, but interesting to see how Warrington, they push Richie Myler. Now, Myler was taking first receiver in that first half, controlling things. Now we're seeing Chris Bridge taking that position. And they're using Myler a little bit wider out on that left-hand side.
Right, let's get down, see what was said at half-time. Graham Beecroft's on the sideline.
Yes, the Warrington team obviously want to keep the momentum going that they gained in the latter part of the first half. Dennis Betts told me it's vital that Widnes keep their enthusiasm for the game going, don't drop off, and importantly, of course, don't miss tackles, Eddie.
Here's a penalty going Warrington's way now, offside from the kick. Good chase by Christine, but from an offside position.
Only just, but good word by the touch judge that's added more pressure. But we saw late in the first half that the influence there of Mickey Hyam, and I'm sure that he'll come to the fore as this game progresses.
Here's Hodgson. Now it's with Atkins, and Atkins, it's a loose pass and it finds the touchline. Well, Tony Smith won't be happy with that.
I think Dennis Betts will, though, both with the organisation and the commitment here from Widnes in defence. Graham spoke about not missing tackles, has to be a focus for Widnes. They missed 44 in France last weekend. They're doing better than that here today, and they'll have to do, because Warrington are a side who test you both the full width of the pitch, the left and the right.
Well, what the Widnes have got to do, Phil, is they've got to make sure they're not relying on Warrington mistakes to keep them in this game. They also have to cut their own errors out. Steve-O, you mentioned that Mickey Hines has been very good. The reason I believe he's lifted up his game in the latter part of that first half is the introduction of Paul Wood and Mike Cooper onto the field. Two very mobile props that can get you almost 90% quick play of the balls, and that gets the team going forward.
Probably just saw that the Catalan Dragons have stretched their lead against London in the capital. And 76 points against Widnes at the weekend, 26 now against the London Broncos, over 100 points in just over a game and a half. And Catalan Dragons lie in wait in Perpignan for the Wolves on Monday. Here is Hanbury for Widnes, meanwhile. Spinning away from trouble, Rhys Hanbury. Hanbury, has he got the pace to get round Hodgson? He has, you know! Did he ground the ball?
Well, if he has, this is nothing short of brilliant. He's hurt himself. He
taken a real clatter.
He fended them off.
Watch his feet. And
He's lost it, but has he got control? Well, Richie Myler's leg, he loses it here, so if it hits Myler's leg, that has got to be deemed a knock-on. And I'm afraid it will be turned down, or should be, by the video referee, Phil Bentham. But what an amazing solo effort. He spun out of two would-be tacklers, but I think the mere fact that he's lost control and it hits the leg of Myler, then it has to be deemed as a knock-on.
Does he not regain control before the ball hits the floor, though? Is that not possible?
Well, as soon as it hits the defender, it has to be deemed as a knock-on. It was going forward.
Well, actually, Myler made the play to hit the ball with his knee. It wasn't the other way round. It's an interesting one, this.
Well, I'll deem it a knock-on.
I'll give it a try, because it certainly deserves one. A remarkable effort for him to get on the outside of the players, and they need some luck if they're going to win here.
What you got to determine is, has he lost the ball before it's hit Richie Myler, or has Richie Myler knocked the ball out of his hands? That is the question the video referee will be analysing at the moment.
Well, I won't change my view.
Well, you rarely do, despite the arguments.
I will not stick on the fence. I think he's lost it. Not like some other person quite close to me.
It's a try.
Well, he certainly looks as though he might have regained it there. That's what obviously is what Phil Bentham is looking at.
Well, as he's got to deem whether Myler has knocked the ball over his knee, or whether Hanbury has lost control, and as soon as it hits the opposition, it has to be a knock-on.
He wouldn't have just lost control, though, when he was running with the ball. He had control of it.
Well, we'll soon see. Phil Bentham has made his decision.
What will be the decision from Phil Bentham? It's disallowed. He's rarely wrong, the old boy. That's disappointing for Dennis Betts.
Certainly is. I'm not gloating over the fact.
Just wait on his
But he is shaking his head because it was an absolutely tremendous solo effort.
It was an outstanding run, wasn't it?
Incredible.
Listen, I know that Lloyd White is out there, number 6, just running back out of the screen there, and he interchanges, as you rightly say, Phil, with Scott Moore. But when Widnes were absolutely on blob in the first half, Moore was out there.
Well, they must think that Scott Moore's engine isn't good enough to play for 80 minutes like James Robin. They're going to get the ball back, though, here, and there's some celebrating amongst the Widnes side. They see this game as a possible victory for them.
Well, on the second effort, shall we say, mistake by the second row, Ben Westwood, who I think all on his own in the opening 20 minutes really dragged the Warrington side back into this game. He brought the enthusiasm, he brought the fire into the belly of the home side.
Here's Christine with this run. It was Christine who started all the fun in the 4th minute with the try that gave Widnes the lead. Here is Lloyd White again, who he was thinking of offloading there. They wrapped him up, though, did the Warrington Wolves. It was Curry who got round him, and Curry again involved in the defensive duties again with Myler. Here come Widnes once more, though. That's Hanbury. Oh, it's gone behind everybody! But they managed to hold on to it somehow under pressure from Monaghan. It was good work in the end. Van gets the ball away. Finnegan wide. Isa bumps off them and goes down. He was hurt then, Isa.
How on earth did he stay in the field of play?
Last tackle it is. Lloyd White with a deep kick, and too deep. Cassidy's not impressed. Scott Moore's alongside him. Well, will he get the nod from Dennis Betts to get back on the field?
It's a big decision, isn't it, for Dennis Betts to... Should he bring him back? But how on earth he stayed in the field of play there? That was a big impact there by Brett Hodgson. It is a gamble by the Widnes outfit because we know the quality of Scott Moore.
There's an opportunity for Widnes in this game to come away with 2 points, but they have to be better than what they've showed so far. They've scored 12, but they've been a little sloppy, and they've shown us in this second half. That's not a good enough end to a set. Widnes are going to have to be almost perfect in this second half to get a result, because you got the feeling that Warrington could be far from perfect and still come away with a win.
It's high again off the boot of Myler.
It's a bit too far.
Another tester for Phelps. This time he's not set upon immediately.
Move!
It's impressive though, Warrington there. 3 quick play the balls, put them into a very good kicking position. You just get the feeling that Widnes don't have the power and the skill factor to score from deep within their own quarter. Always in with a chance when they have a little sniff at the Warrington line.
Ben Cross takes it forward again.
Scott Moore there.
Stumbles slightly as he approached that, and it's a knock on by Ben Cross. Well, that looked as though the ball shot away.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a hand in there, and it's not seen by the official. He's furious as Ben Cross. He knows that it's been just jiggled out.
According to Boots and all last night, Ben Cross fancies life after rugby league as an estate agent.
Not a bad industry to be in. I've lost a few houses over the years.
Here's Monaghan. Monaghan takes the tackle. But it's a glorious opportunity here now for the Wolves.
Do you know, this is
there.
Eddie, this is where Warrington really just have to settle themselves down here. Don't try to be too fancy. Just camp down for a while. Get back into controlling the game.
Hodgson at dummy half gives it to Cooper. Back it comes to Myler. They go wide to Bridge. Always been dangerous tonight, Bridge. After the hat-trick, Bridge. Held up though.
Yeah, Dave Allen just gets underneath the ball carrying arm. That was good work there by the big second rower.
Oh, he's hurt. Look, he's limping away. Is Chris Bridge.
He had a bit of a problem late in that first half as well, Eddie. Oh, dearie me.
Well, John Kite,
the big fella, he went a hunting.
He did. He was looking for the young Curry there.
That Brad Dwyer who's just on. He's just come on as a substitute. He's lost concentration with the tackle count and had a run as Chris Bridge leaves the field.
There's problems for Chris Bridge. Start of this hectic Easter programme. 2 games for Warrington in 5 days, of course.
Wait, guys, wait.
And their opposition, Catalan Dragons, running away with it by the looks of things in London.
Move on the 10, Joel.
11 minutes of this second half gone.
Stop. Move. Oh, Mike. Wait.
Moore is back out there. There he is. Kite takes it forward again. He's got 4 around him. Down he goes.
Move. Wait.
That's the Bridge injury. Just got a twist on the ankle, I think, in that tackle. Yep. Here goes Moore again.
Move all the way.
Last tackle for Widnes. They're 14 metres away from their own line. It's Finnegan. And Isa puts it down. Frustration for Isa.
Yeah,
frustration for Widnes.
He just had a little look and he could see the send off Gareth O'Brien in front of him. Just a little squint there. It's sufficient.
Here's Tyrone McCarthy for Warrington.
Just use the power, get them through. He knows that they have to score soon.
McCarthy, the Irish international, he's missed the last 3. Only a couple of appearances this year for Warrington Wolves. And Brad Dwyer is out there. Here is Cooper.
Move back up.
Here's Dwyer, highly rated young man. And so is this fellow, Gareth O'Brien. Widnes know all about him. He's been with them for a month. Myler goes wide and finds Hodgson on the loop. Hodgson strolls in. That's a wonderful try. just a broken for Widnes. Hodgson drifting round the back, came in on the loop. The defence went the wrong way and the door opened for Hodgson, and he shot through it for his second try of the campaign.
Great build-up yet again by the Warrington forwards. Put them into a great position. This was the error there from Willie Isa, and the pressure by Gareth O'Brien. Myler, who has been a real schemer, and that's the dummy. When you put in a position where you've got 2-on-1, do you take the dummy? Do you go out wide? Either way, he got completely fooled. Paddy Flynn, he went that way, and this fella, Brett Hodgson, went the other.
I think we've just seen that Widnes can't afford to give Warrington possession inside their own half. Ben Cross and Willie Isa both coming up with errors, and then when Warrington gets so close to the line, sooner or later they're going to score. And I think the lesson has to be, whenever possible, kick it long and get as far away from their own Widnes try line as possible to keep the Wolves from scoring.
Well, Hodgson here. He improved the angle to give himself an easier job with the kick, and he makes sure of 2 more points. The Warrington total, it's now 2 converted tries, the lead, 24 points to 12.
Yeah, good combination. I've been impressed with Myler, and the experience of Brett Hodgson came in on the angle, knew that he had a 2-on-1 if he threw the dummy, and they took it.
Just glided across the turf, didn't he, Brett Hodgson, to score that try?
Well, he is. He's been in good form with the boot as well as Brett Hodgson. A little bit off colour perhaps in open play, but he's had a wow of a game tonight.
This is Paul Wood. Around quite some time, Paul Wood in Warrington's colours. Scamper away by Dwyer.
Got a bit of a facial.
Carvel. Solid run from the prop forward.
Good. Move back up, Scott.
See, he's just come on for Ben Westwood. Here is Cooper.
Not surprising that Westwood will take a rest. He's been here, there and everywhere. He's put in a real good stint. I must say, some of the youngsters that Tony Smith has thrown out there, they're working hard. As Scott Moore goes in for another facial.
Yes, we all talk about the youngsters at Wigan, St Helens, Leeds. Warrington proving tonight that they have got a bit of a nursery developing as well.
And it's a golden opportunity when you race away to a 24-12 lead. I suppose in many ways Tony Smith would have wanted this game well and truly over at half-time. It's a busy period over Easter.
Yes, and they have the long trip over the weekend down to the south of France.
Move, come on.
Where they know.
Very interesting, that.
Something that Catalan have, though, almost every other week, don't they?
Yes, they do.
You know, it's almost a 6-point disadvantage over the course of 27 rounds, the amount of travel that they have to do. Still, I do think they'll be in the top 4 when we get to the end of the year.
That's right. There was a game, though, played in Australia, wasn't there, in Perth this the weekend, and I think it was Brisbane who were involved in it. They went from one side of the country to the other. It's a bit like us going to America. But they managed it, and they won. Imagine if we played a game in America, how good would that be?
Well, Warrington and Wigan did, didn't they, going back 30
years ago. I was there. I was in Milwaukee. Yes, I remember it well. 1989.
You've got a great memory, you, Eddie.
Well, I have, because Ian Proctor's just told me the date. I can't remember last week, never mind 1989.
At least you're honest, that's for sure.
Wait on his foot, wait.
This is slowly slipping away from Widnes now. The 24 points to 12 down. Warrington on the attack.
And here goes Myler. Gets the ball back to Riley. And here's Atkins. He's going to hand this upstairs. There's no problem these days, of course, with the corner post. If he touches that in flight, no problem. It's the feet. It's the feet. It's the feet.
Now then, is that a stud that's just brushed the whitewash? Difficult with white boots. I think it does. Can we see it better here?
This is a better shot. Now
oh, is it a stud? Oh boy, it's a millimetre. deserves to be given.
Great finish, but was his stud
There.
in touch there?
Well, the boot is over.
Well,
The heel of the boot is definitely over the whitewash.
I mean, they're good pictures, but it's going to be difficult to see. You're just looking for a small rod stud. See if that's hit. See if that's hit the sideline.
Well, I tell you what, from that one, it looks as though it's a millimetre inside. I think they'll give this. I think from the back shot, the one that we saw previous, I think that it proves that he had the back of the stud up. This will be given. And who knows?
It just seemed to twist a little bit, didn't it? But I think they're going to have a check. Yes, they're going to have a check on the ground. I think they must be happy enough.
Yeah, I think they'll give it. And again,
He's had some difficult ones tonight, Phil Bentham.
yeah, it's always difficult, and it's always right that they take the time to make sure that they get it spot on. And I think on this occasion, take a bow, Phil Bentham.
Try to Atkins. His 50th try for Warrington. This is his 72nd appearance tonight. 49 tries in 96 for Wakefield previously. We have to call him these days a former England international because he's not in the squad. That is try number 9 of 2012 for Ryan Atkins, and it's probably the one that confirms that Warrington will go home tonight, knowing they've got 2 points in the Super League bag.
And again, tremendous play by the half-back Richie Myler. See how it threw the dummy, went straight through. Riley fed, and Atkins performed well. Good combination. He's been impressive tonight, Richie Myler. And is it nice to see the combination switch? Riley went into the centre. Atkins went out onto the wing. And can this guy make it 5 from 5?
Yes, he can. Brett Hodgson, apart from wonderful full-back play, he's an excellent kicker of the ball.
You know, the camera angle from behind the post that we just saw gave us a great example of the advantage of having 2 front rowers, Gareth Carvell and Paul Wood, who are both prepared to pass the ball, because it then provided the space for Myler and ultimately Atkins. Not every side that you watch play rugby league have 2 front rowers who are happy to catch and pass if the space is available.
That's right. When you applaud attack as well, you must also look at the defence and see what went wrong. When you work as a defensive line, whatever you do, whether you come in or stay out, you've got to do it together. Widnes on that occasion had about 5 players singing off a different hymn sheet. Some went in, some hung out, some rushed up, some stayed back. That's not going to be good enough.
That's good harassing defence, though. The referee shouted held. Oh, and Carvell he pushed
back
out then with his foot, I'm afraid.
That was silly play. I know you can get frustrated, but the referee went on a little bit too long
He
there.
shouted held.
And it just
shouts
lasted
held
back.
there.
That's silly play. We'll hear a little bit more about that. Why on earth he wanted to do that when the game is virtually controlled at 30 points to 12.
Again, a high kick from Myler, spiralling.
Too far, but the chase is good. And who's the first man there? He's been outstanding, Richie Myler. That's a silly play.
Well, yes, there was a bit of petulance because he was put to ground eventually, Gareth Carvell.
The game's tough enough for it, is it, Eddie, without having to have silly little things like that. Well, there wasn't a great deal of power behind it.
How many
but at least
forward
they did it.
passes have we seen pulled up tonight?
Yeah, well, especially it's the style of play that Dennis Spencer's Widnes playing. It's a very, very flat pass, but you can see quite clearly with the hands that it was going forward.
Well, that was coming all game. The timing off the dummy half, the timing of the run, and what the dummy half is doing has been off for Widnes. They haven't been able to read whether Scott Moore's going to run up, jump, or whoever else has been in the dummy half. And that forward pass was a long time coming.
Well, will it be a long 20 minutes remaining for Widnes at 30 points to 12?
Well, they're getting
Now
in
3 scores behind.
they're getting into the swing of things. You see, Eddie, is it Warrington are in in full control.
And Widnes tiring a bit.
Yeah, and the kick and chase game has been superb in the second half. They put a lot of pressure under the fullback Cameron Phelps, who's picked up an injury. You've got to apply that pressure, and they've done that. He's hobbling around his Phelps.
Mentioned that Warrington travel to the south of France. Widnes are at home to Bradford on Monday, and actually it's been publicised. It's a wonderful gesture from Steve O'Connor, their chairman. Not only has he contributed to the Bradford Bulls Fighting Fund, he's given them tickets, and he's just told them to sell them and keep the money. I think it'll be worth about another £12,000 to Bradford if they manage to do that.
Wonderful gesture.
As his winger Arvan humps the ball into touch, and there he is, Steve O'Connor. Well done, Mr. O'Connor, for those gestures.
And let's hope that Bradford survive. We don't want them kicking out of Super League.
Well, if it all goes pear-shaped between now and tomorrow night, and of course this evening they've been having an auction with all sorts of wonderful memorabilia on show, they will probably enter administration. Does that necessarily mean that they go out of the league? The trouble is, all their players then would become free agents. And would they have players to play?
Sadly, yes, that would be the case, but then someone else would come along and start it again like they did in the 60s when they folded before. They did exactly the same thing, and slowly but surely they rose to prominence. Oh, bad situation there. Cooper couldn't just hold on.
That is manna from heaven if you're a Widnes player. You're just clinging on to this game. You see Mike Cooper drop the ball here. Big hole in front of him. He's got good footwork. He'd almost back himself to get underneath the post. Well, that is a relief for these Widnes players. They are just clinging on at the moment. This scoreline could blow out from 30 to anywhere closer to 50 if Widnes fall off anymore and Warrington crank it up again.
Well, Rugby League is an attritional game, isn't it, Brian? And I suppose we've seen the Widnes side fatigue. When they've had possession inside their own half, it's been individual men trying to run forward here and controlled by three Warrington defenders, as is typified in that tackle. And then they've turned over possession inside their own half as well, aren't they? Every man trying his hardest, but it's one-man efforts, and they're met with a really resilient defensive line. It's making every metre hard to fight for.
We should remember, of course, that Widnes, what are they, about 7 years behind everybody else? They're getting to the speed and the pace of Super League, the fitness and the demands of this wonderful competition, slowly but surely, and they've got 3 years, well, this and 2 more to build.
Well, to be fair, now they're not 7 years behind. As the likes of Wakefield will put together a side, they'll get 18 new players. Widnes, and I'll take your point that they've got new players, and their start to the season was always going to be difficult, gelling all those players together. But there are other teams in the same situation.
True enough, but they've not been in this situation for 7 years, and the people who are here playing in Widnes' colours tonight weren't here 7 years ago.
That's true, and there's some guys that are getting their first taste of Super League in a long time. You're right, there's some players that, yeah, there is some players that have come up with them from the division below, and it is a step up. We've seen some of the young Warrington players have their first game tonight, and it is a step up, you're right.
Here's Riley.
And that's good work by the two wingers. First of all, Rhys Williams, and then Chris Riley. Take away the lot of pressure off the forwards, who I must say have worked very, very hard. Good thinking there by Dwyer.
He got a call from the referee, Brad Dwyer, to play on. He was almost about to play the ball. Here's Cooper attacking them up the middle, nearly through. Important tackle by Cahill. Myler stabs the ball to the in-goal area. It's bouncing everywhere. Work to do, and Paddy Flynn does it brilliantly.
Great kick and great run out by the winger.
Here's John Kite.
Put himself in a good position, Paddy Flynn there.
Saw John Kite a couple of minutes ago. He's a big man, 18 stone, 6'5". He was down, his hands were on his knees, he was blowing for tugs.
Yeah, he's struggling. There's a good kick, and we mentioned the good positional play by Paddy Flynn. Well, they've got a relieving penalty. He's a little bit too excited, messing around there. Nobody standing square either.
Interference at the play of the ball, and that's gifted Widnes some territory. They're just inside their own half, starting this set of 6 with Moore. And here is Finnegan. Let's go down to Graham Beecroft for news.
Yes, Warrington have had Chris Bridge off the pitch. He's been down to the dressing room. He's been back on the bench, and he's limped back badly down to the dressing room. Not going to play any further part in this, I don't think. There must be a big doubt for the trip to Catalan as well.
Bad news for Warrington. Good news in the fact that they have probably won the match. There's another mistake from the Widnes Vikings and Danny Craven, but they look like they might be losing a player in Bridge, who was impressive early in this match. Got Warrington back into it.
Certainly was, and I'm not so sure that we'll see the likes of Ben Westwood as well. I'm sure that Tony Smith will be wanting to save him for the big game on Easter Monday.
Well, that was his battle plan, wasn't it? And that's why there's so many changes tonight, because he wants to keep the older heads, let's put it politely like that, ready for this on Easter Monday.
Well, coaches have to manage their substitutions during a game, and they have to manage their squad when they've got two games so closely together. Absolutely, you got to rest and keep people fresh, and it will be a big test. Catalan Dragons doing well down in London, and they'll be fired up for a game at their home ground, an Easter Sunday game. Dennis Betts, he can learn a lot from his side in this last 14 minutes or so. They need to perform well and get themselves ready for the Bradford game, and they can show a lot of character tonight in this last 14 minutes.
Here's Dwyer again, and Chris Hill. By the way, gentlemen, early to bed tonight. We have a big day tomorrow. We've just seen the Hull Derby and Saints Wigan. So, Steve-O, set the alarm, behave yourself.
I got the Coco.
Here's Myler. Puts the ball away, and the referee has...
Yeah, he's offside.
It's Kite, isn't it?
Yeah, it was offside. He
was lying on the ground.
He was struggling to get back into defence.
He can't get back up onto his feet.
Yeah, and there you see him.
Look, he's down.
Came on Scott Moore, didn't it, first? So he was in an offside position. Another penalty.
He was like that before. He had his hands on his knees, and he was really taking the oxygen in, Sione Kite, and you saw it, he just couldn't resist on that occasion. Oh, Isa shot out of the line then. That's touched by Arvan. That's a knock on. Arvan thinks he's away.
Well, Patrick Arvan would have cast his mind back a few years ago and saying, well, they used to be given those when I was going into a so-called tackle, but you could see virtually
the ball's gone.
Yeah, he's gone. He's put the left arm on.
Brad, come on, I want your head
Well,
in.
I get the impression that Richie Myler, who's had a superb game tonight,
Head in, Cameron.
he really has created a lot of things.
Out.
Why didn't you go for a solo run? Try to score one yourself, son.
Hodgson bounces off Hanbury. Dean does well.
Hold.
Here's Atkins. This fatigued Widnes defence, trying to cope manfully with this. It's with Hodgson again. Back it comes, a little fumble high to Myler. Wide it goes to McCarthy. Great ball, I was about to say, to Rhys Williams, who knows a try was beckoning.
Great work by Taro McCarthy. Through the dummies, sucks in the winger Van, and said, I will get up watching the winger score in the corner. And I'm afraid Williams could not take it in. Nice Olympic jump.
Simon, keep working your tens and get an input on you.
He shakes the head in disbelief.
Yeah, Rhys Williams.
He knows he should have scored.
Is Patrick Arvan. Is that an Alice band I see in Patrick Arvan's hair tonight?
Don't ask me, Eddie.
Have we ever seen an Alice band in rugby league before?
I don't even know what one is. Oh, yes.
There you go, that's what it is.
Sean Long used to wear one, remember?
You have got a good memory tonight. Taking the tablets.
You know, Widnes won't want to win this game in the next 10 minutes, but what they might do is win some of the matches by the way that they play in the next 10 minutes. Can they develop a toughness here now to concentrate and perform for 80 minutes? They've been through the tough period here now. They've been on the try line for quite a period of time. They've got possession now. How will they use it?
Well, 76-6 rather in the south of France on Sunday. 30-12 with 10 to go here at Warrington. Moral victory? Widnes, do you think?
That's okay.
Would you class it as such?
Well, at least it's been a great.
For it, I know, but
yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's an improvement. We didn't expect miracles from the Widnes outfit, even at the start of this Super League. It's a work in progress.
That's what Dennis Betts emphasises all the time.
Yeah, that's right. Dennis will have a different view than us, but I suppose if we're going to judge Widnes' performance, we do have to take into consideration what sort of a performance we think Warrington have put in tonight. And I think they've been very scratchy, I suppose, the best way I can put it. And I think that's played a lot to had a big effect on what the score is now. It's only 30 points to 12, and I think Warrington, had they been a bit sharper, could have posted more points. That's not to take anything away from Widnes' start of this game.
Here's a penalty going Warrington's way. Ben Cross, a hand on the ball as Cooper tried to get up and play it quickly.
Yeah, they're just trying to slow them down. It's, I do agree with you, Brian, in many ways, but you've also got to understand that Warrington will have their eyes on Easter Monday as well.
Chris Hill with a good run to the 10-metre line. Scamper away from Brad Dwyer. Moore was a bit high then. Should be penalised and is.
Yeah.
Let's not forget that Widnes have beaten Wigan and London this year so far, 2 from 9. You know, if they maintain this ratio, they will claim 6 victories this year, exceeding the expectations of many. Here goes Carvel!
Backing it down.
Hold up, first tackle. Back up on the
Wouldn't it be wonderful if Widnes came up with 6 wins this season?
First tackle on your 10. Take it back, Ben, come on.
They're going to come up with 6 more tackles here at least, haven't they, to hold out the line. Brad Dwyer going to feed it. Getting some good game time. And Chris Hill, who I said, doing excellent. But this is the width that Warrington love to play with.
And Monaghan, this time not on the wing, but in the centres, and he's being forced towards the touchline. Manages to stay in the field of play, just pushing and shoving all over the place. McCarthy is held up. This could tell us a lot about Widnes' resolution. Hill, straight at the man.
He's worked
Penalty against Widnes, offside.
Dwyer will take the little tap.
Referee wants a word with the skipper.
Wait.
Remember, early in the piece it was 6-0 penalties in Widnes' favour.
But 3 penalties on the bounce. Come on, let's sort it out. Talk to us, yeah?
3 penalties, one after the other. Finnegan has been warned, sorted out. I don't think they're on a final warning. Cooper
On the line. Wait.
plays the ball here. Spin and a try, I think, for Brad Dwyer. It is.
He takes his opportunities and his teammates in the stand. Breers and Morley, they know the capabilities of this youngster.
Steph Ratchford alongside them as well. All smiles now. Warrington have won, there's no question of that. And Brad Dwyer with this latest try.
Well, I did just warn them down, haven't they? Time and time again. It was a simple effort, but give him a lot of credit for the spin. He gets it over, that's all that counts. And the Warrington fans, they've every right to be happy. Surely that Brett Hodgson will add the extras. It's always great to see your teammates happy to see a youngster coming through, and he is a talent.
I think it's one of those moments when the coaches of the junior sides at Warrington and at Inch Rosebridge in Wigan, where Brad Dwyer learned to play most of the game, really take just a moment of satisfaction about the effort they've put into helping him to get out there and score a try at the highest level.
Hodgson will add the extras. It's been a perfect night with the boot for him. It's 36-12 to Warrington. And here's the nub of the Widnes problem. Even in the matches that they have won this year, they have never conceded less than 30 points in a game. I'm sure that it doesn't need somebody like me to tell Dennis Betts his problems, but that is obviously the problem that the Widnes Vikings have. He's got a massive job on his hand this year, Dennis.
Well, there's been a marked improvement in the attack tonight, especially early in the game, but it's that same old problem, the defensive, and of course having to get through so much work at times. They soon run out of gas. And quite honestly, in this second half, I've been impressed with Warrington, especially the youngsters they've thrown out there. They've worked hard, they've got over the advantage line.
Move!
Now then, we have live Challenge Cup action for you a week Saturday, the 14th. And it's the tie of the round, in my opinion. Featherstone against Castleford. Challenge Cup 4th round, 3 o'clock, Sky Sports 1 HD. And they're expecting a full house down Featherstone Way for that fierce local derby. Featherstone going well in the Championship with an ambition to play in Super League. and they fancy rattling the cage of the Tigers in the Carnegie Challenge Cup this weekend.
Should be a fascinating game.
Looking forward to it.
I certainly am, and Richie Myler, of course, again, quick thinking all the time, kicking in the corner. Tony Smith, he was somewhat irate at the half-time break, made his presence felt.
Locking tight.
But he's had a smashing game, hasn't he, Richie Myler? Both in attack and defence. He works hard.
Whoa!
But he's asked a lot of questions tonight. He really has been influential.
Less than 4.5 minutes remaining. It would be nice from Widnes' point of view if they could post a try. They're trying to play expansive, but they're playing expansive rugby league deep in their own territory, and Lloyd White could not take that in. And Warrington here will go looking for their 40th point of the match.
Nice and tight, Brad.
Well, I've been calling and shouting for number 7, Richie Myler, to throw a dummy and maybe go on his own.
Riley trying to go between two tired defenders.
Wait.
Dwyer is in there, dummy half. Hill. Carvel again. Oops, it's a bit of a right hook from Finnegan.
Yeah, I think he might have just had a little dig while he was on his way down.
Dwyer 10 metres out, finds Richie Myler. He then gets it wide to Atkins. Atkins gets it wide to Riley. Now then it's another decision for the video referee.
Just checking for possible obstruction.
And they're checking for possible obstructions.
Well, again, quick hands. Myler, the dummy runner, coming back on the inside. And again, the dummy runner. It's been effective the way they've utilised that. Does he make contact? Is he going through the gap? For Phil Bentham, the video referee tonight has to decide. Well, he certainly makes contact, and I've seen them rubbed off
Off regularly, but
yeah.
Riley's hoping it's his second try of the match.
I think that's good to go. I really do. I think that's good to go. I'd be disappointed if that was called off from that.
But Steve-O's right, Brian. They've been chalked off many times.
No, I understand.
They're going to give this. They're looking at the grounding.
Yeah, and he gets it down well.
It's the second try for Chris Riley. Then I think we can preempt the decision that's coming on the big screen if Wolfie gets out the way. Try it is. 40 points for Warrington. Well, it's not that warm. We've got gloves on up here, and he's stripped up to the waist, that fella.
Relatives to be proud as punch.
2 tries for Riley.
Yeah, and well finished. And again, that man Richie Myler involved. It was a beautiful delayed pass by Atkins. Nothing better than to see halfbacks combining with the centres who do the job, and this man finished it off. He's an unsung hero, this fella. He's had his ups and downs, but every time he's brought back into the top grade, he produces the goods.
And
nice.
he is an ever-present this year, Chris Riley. Hodgson, has he done it again? What a night he's had with the boot, Brett Hodgson. Hasn't missed one from anywhere. Converted them all 7.
Well, Chris Riley's an interesting case study. We saw Rhys Williams have an opportunity to score from a Tyrone McCarthy flick and miss. Chris Riley, on the other hand, rarely misses an opportunity when presented with it. He certainly does make the most of his natural gifts. He's not the biggest of players, but he gets over the line regularly, and he does it with bravery.
42-12. Hodgson again does really well. They're asking for a knock-on. It came off his legs. Here's Chris Hill.
2, move! Hold.
Gets to his feet. Well, it seems a distant memory, doesn't it? The 12-point advantage that Widnes had in the opening 10 minutes.
Well, that's right. It was a great start, but they did fade off badly, and I think the half-time whistle couldn't come quickly enough for them, and I hoped that they would start the second half as well as start the first half. They didn't. I think that set the tone.
And there's a bit of indiscipline as well. A lot of penalties going against Dennis Betts' team.
Well, penalties seem to be cyclical in games, Eddie. You might, I mean, it went down to 6-0 and we commented on that. But the way games go, and I think Phil will probably have the stats for it, but on average it seems to level itself out, if not over the course of a game, over the course of the season. And there you go, 12-8 now.
Yeah, well, it was 6-0, and since then it's been 12-2.
And it tends to go like that. Once a team starts to fatigue and starts to tire, you see them concede more penalties, and that's what happened with Widnes tonight.
Warrington are looking here to send their supporters home with an even bigger smile on their face, getting ready for those of them who are going down on the trip to Perpignan, and they will arrive in the south of France, maybe top of the table, because they're going top tonight. But is it just for 24 hours or so? We'll see tomorrow. Dwyer, Hill, Carvel.
Move. Hold. Stop.
And it's Myler over the top. Riley gets the hat-trick. They will go home with an even bigger smile on their face. We thought Bridge might be the hat-trick hero when he got the 2 early tries that got Warrington back into this match. But the hat-trick hero tonight is Chris Riley, the other Chris. And that's 8 for 2012 so far. He can finish, this fella.
He can, and his team can certainly score points. We have said that about them all along. Once they click into gear, they've got points in them. Chris Riley, oh, what a special night for him again. Regularly scores tries, and he's a local favourite. Loves playing for the club, and I think the fans love having him here. And playing outside these players, we've said about Richie Myler, he's picked the wrong pass a couple of occasions. Well, on that time, he's found the right mark. He did have a short pass option, Eddie. Chose to go over once he had seen the defence come in. Smart half-back play from Myler. Good finishing from the winger, Chris Riley.
It's his 4th try hat-trick for Warrington. Swinton in the Cup last year, Wakefield in 2010 in the Super League, and he once upon a time, also in 2010, got 5 tries for Warrington against Harlequins. Well, he scored his hat-trick try, tight to the touchline, and Hodgson 7 from 7, and he would love to go home with this 100% record intact tonight. This for 20 points in the match for Brett Hodgson. He has been immaculate with the boot, and he's been solid in defence. And he's missed. Gets a boo from the Warrington supporters. That's the match. 46-12. Warrington have beaten the Widnes Vikings. Let's go straight down and join John Wells.
Thanks, Eddie. Another really bright start from Widnes, wasn't it? And really another early try for them, but for the work of the video referee correctly disallowing this one. We'll show you why. There's Rhys Hanbury. He rides the tackle of 3 Warrington defenders before holding off Monaghan's attentions here and Hodgson's to ground in the corner, or so we thought. Disallowed for loss of control in the act of scoring. Correct decision, but Warrington's response was much more clinical, wasn't it? It's Brett Hodgson from fullback. Widnes number up correctly, but this is textbook from Warrington. Atkinson's line here is designed to pull in and hold his opposite centre in Dean, and Hodgson does the rest, once into some space. That took it to 24 points to 12, and Ryan Atkins extended Warrington's lead with a great finish in the corner after good hands here in the build-up. Riley providing the try-scoring pass. It looked dangerously close to being in touch just here, didn't it, in the build-up? But when you take a look from the other camera angle, you can see he just managed to keep in play. Great finish from the centre. And Warrington may have won the game, but they had a lot to put right from tonight. Taking the opportunities would be key amongst them. That'll be concern for Tony Smith. They play Catalan in 4 days' time. But they did make sure of the victory with a late try from Brad Dwyer here. It's a classic close-range dummy half try, this one. Scooted over, plus a late second from Riley, and then a final one which completed the hat-trick for the wingman in the corner. 46-12 to Warrington. Highly entertaining start to our Easter programme.
Yes, highly entertaining, and Richie Myler is the man of the match, Heinz Big Soup man of the match. He's talking to Graham.
Yes, congratulations, Richie. Tremendous performance. Did they surprise you, though, right at the beginning?
Oh, yeah, we knew it was going to be for a tough ask, and Widnes come out all guns blazing and give us a real tough first half, and we after about was 12-0 down or something, and we thought, oh, we're in for a hard game here, and the Widnes fans were very loud and very thingy, but I thought Warrington fans really got behind us, and then it just turned us around and we just got a roll on.
Tony Smith came down to the touchline after you scored your first try. What did he say?
Oh no, it just give us a bit of a boost that we needed. We was a little bit flat and was giving away too many penalties, and once we stopped doing that, we got a roll on and stuck to our game plan. The points come.
You are the man of the match. Congratulations. There's a bottle of champagne. Where's the money going?
To the Warrington Heart Foundation.
Thank you very much indeed, Richie.